and welcome to FrazlCast. Climb aboard the gnome train.
Chugga, 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 chugga.
Please make sure to keep your limbs and experimental instruments inside the train at all times. And now, on with the show.
A podcast by a Blizzard fan gnome about World of Warcraft and geeky stuff. I promise you, they do talk about the World of Warcraft. They just go off the rails sometimes.
And off the rails we absolutely do go. And tonight, though, it's going to be on the rails in a fun way, because tonight is pretty much about World of Warcraft, and I'm Frazley, and I am joined by Lawrencium!
Howdy! Hello.
Good to have you here.
It's excellent to be here. Thank you so much.
Absolutely. I remember meeting you at BlizzCon, and like, you were so friendly, because like I was in the overload. Did I ever tell you my story of coming to there from BlizzCon?
I don't think you have, honestly.
I was setting out in the morning to be there maybe by like 1 or 2 p.m. and all that. Well, the first flight gets delayed because from Missouri they could not latch the lavatory door.
Oh my! Oh, what? Really?
Yes!
The lavatory door of all
Yes!
things.
And it's like, couldn't they just put some like duct tape there?
Gorilla glue. I mean, what can you do?
Yeah. And then I finally arrive after like my second connecting flight, after I get diverted to another flight. I get diverted down to California. Then I had to fly up. I flew up to San Francisco. Then I had to fly down to Los Angeles. I was in there around 3 o'clock Pacific, but I had to get back on. And then when I got there, the shuttle driver took forever. And the shuttle driver's like, "You went to Burbank and you're trying to get up to Anaheim?" And I was like, I was told to, and it was on a Blizzard website, not a Blizzard official one, but it was a Blizzard fan site that it told me Burbank, and I was like, Orange County.
And that's so messed up, is because that was the year, like the first day, because like I landed in LA on the 30th, and this was the year, like the first day that Uber drivers could not park in certain locations outside of the airport, outside of the arrival and departing.
Yeah.
I'm just like, what? Now, fortunately, my buddy Cynics actually picked me up, so I guess I was lucky there. So I actually had a ride to and from the airport. Didn't have to. I mean, I paid for gas, so that was pretty much it. So, what a guy! What a guy!
Thank you, Cynics. Thank you. The savior of BlizzCon.
The savior of BlizzCon, the man, and he was actually at Con Before the Storm in that chainmail.
Oh yes.
Yeah, he had like that what was it, that LARPing gear. He had like the chainmail and everything, and it was so cool. Like it was so epic. Like literally having him in the hotel, like because we shared a room together. Yeah. And he had the chainmail on, and we were just like, "Hey, I'm gonna go and walk around in this chainmail." I was like, "Okay, you do you." And I have no idea that it would be that cool.
And I have to wonder how like hot that was, or like that had to be pretty like not. Oh no, I wonder with the change if it would be pretty breathy.
Well, I mean, imagine. I mean, I've been in theater. I've been in like very uncomfortable costumes. I was Santa Claus, for God's sakes.
Oh,
and,
you're Santa Claus?
I was Santa Claus. I was in high school. Yeah.
Oh, so you're telling me whenever I see Santa Claus in theaters, it's not the actual Santa Claus?
No, I mean, there's plenty of Santa Clauses here.
Okay.
I was an iteration of Santa Claus. There's a million Santa Clauses that we're keeping the spirit alive, folks.
Absolutely, because Santa Claus does exist.
We're keeping Christmas alive.
And you know, somebody who does keep Christmas alive in our hearts is Epic Insanity. And Epic Insanity, what time is it?
It's time to go around the table.
I absolutely love that bumper. It's always fun to play it because it's one of those ideas you start and then like you just keep doing it. Today I was playing on stream and somebody had redeemed Jen's wow, I know, and someone was like, "I love that." I was like, it's fun. I'm a gnome. Yes, and you're like, one day I'll be on like 4K audio or something like that, or like whatever the new advanced audio where you're in everybody's ears and you're playing this old MP3 that's so like compressed and it's gonna sound like
it's something that's better than Beats by Dre.
Yes.
not to rag on Dr. Dre, but of course, Dr. Dre, like he perfected the sound.
Yeah.
And I know recently he had a brain aneurysm, so and I'm glad to see that he's recovering.
Absolutely. And definitely helping bring us the bass in our lives and all that, because that's one thing about beats is heavy bass.
Definitely. I mean, I grew up listening to a lot of rap music because my brother and I, because my freshman year of high school, he used to drive me to school, and almost every morning, I would guarantee you, like, we'd pick up a friend and we'd probably go to like the bagel store, get a bagel, and then on the way to school, we'd be listening to like a bunch of like Eminem, Dr. Dre.
Nice.
And I was just like listening to it, and I'm just like hanging out, having a good time. Love it.
And like nowadays, has he made music recently? Because I'm not into rap. Has he?
Dr. Dre?
Yeah.
I can't imagine that he has. I mean, he's more of a producer than he is and I think the last time that he made a song of any import was probably I Need a Doctor with Eminem and Skylar Grey.
Okay. So kids will still know like Dr. Dre.
Yeah.
Oh!
I mean, Dr. Dre is that's right. Oh my gosh. Yeah.
Yeah. Nihar saying that Eminem just released an album last month with Dre.
I mean, he's more of like a behind the scenes, like an audio technician sort of thing, from what I understand. It's been a while since I've listened to like Eminem or any Dr. Dre. I just like fell flat off the earth with that. So
yeah, I mean, I crave some chocolate, so I probably should be consuming more Eminem.
Hey! There it is.
I saw an entry and I had to say it. So how have you been?
Oh my gosh. Well, how am I doing? I'm doing all right. I'm doing great. Well, let's see. Today I worked a shift. I work at a bakery. I worked a short shift. Went home, ate some pizza, took a nap, and then ate dinner, and then now I'm here.
Nice.
It's been a very quiet day for me, but honestly, this week has been full of just so much going on in my life, and I will definitely go into that very soon.
Absolutely, yeah. Like this has been I for this country has been a
Right.
shit show of a year. I mean,
it really has. I mean, we just started, and with the actions yesterday, just irreprehensible and just disgusting.
Yeah. And I will say on air, I denounce white supremacy and I denounce racism, and I'm going to be an active anti-racist.
And I will say the same. Fuck racists.
Yeah.
Fuck white supremacy.
It has no place here, and it has no place in this community because like, yeah.
You're right. Hatred, xenophobia, bigotry. There's just no place for that.
No.
There. Like, come on.
And it's interesting, like, to see the hatred people spew online and see it in a thing that's like palpable in the world. I mean, I can point to yesterday and be like, see, this is the stuff that everybody puts behind the curtain, and everyone's like, oh, the words online don't mean anything. No, the words online led to this, and like this podcast isn't about this, but it's part of the community.
Right. It's just so disgusting just to see like all this vitriol, all this hatred, being led to that pivotal moment, and it's very disgusting. And I spent the entire day yesterday eyes glued to Twitter.
Same.
I'm just like, I couldn't help but just be angry and be shocked, really.
And like one person that is haunted me is this person looks at the camera that a reporter was doing and said that like, I'm doing this because I was forced to do this, and like
that's, and honestly, like, it's just unjustifiable.
Yeah.
Like, because you're forced to do this. No, because there's a hatred that was enabled because of this, and it's just there's no way to justify that, really.
No, and I want to do everything I can to fight that hatred, to bring in love, because I'm looking at a postcard that was sent to me by Birdie that says "Love wins," and I always look at that because that reminds me of what I want to do. Is I want love to win. I want love to win over the hate out there. I want people to be loved for who they are, no matter their race, their orientation, their identity.
Exactly. And I always think, looking up at, because I have the BlizzCon poster, because echoing what you said, I have that BlizzCon 2019, and front and center there's Tracer, right?
Yeah.
And I always think, like that quote from the Overwatch trailer, the world could always use more heroes. So having a voice to speak up against the incessant bigotry and hatred, you think just because of that, because you're speaking up against this, like you're a hero in your own right. The world definitely needs more heroes now more than ever.
And I think this is a good segue into our first topic, because of like gaming. That like gaming's what brings me together. I'm talking to you because of our love of gaming. You and I come from different walks of life, and we're sitting together on this, like, it feels like a couch, but we're sitting together here. Can we move over a little bit? I'm almost off the couch.
What are you talking about? My legs are literally, I'm literally hanging out here. Like, my legs are just like propped up on the couch. I mean, just, if anything, come on.
Okay.
All right,
I guess I need a bigger couch. Oh,
all right. Get one of those sectionals. All right. Just go to Ashley Home Furniture.
Yes. Oh,
that's what we're talking about.
Yes. So yeah, gaming really does bring us together. And I want to ask you, how did you get into gaming?
So my first foray into video games was, I believe I was like 3 years old when my mom and dad got my brother and I the Nintendo 64.
Ooh!
And that was pretty much my first foray into video games as a whole. I think the first ever video game that I remember playing, it was either Super Mario 64, Banjo-Kazooie, or Diddy Kong Racing.
Wow. Yes. I'm like looking back at all those.
Right. And those three games, because they had those elements of open world.
Yeah.
And everything. So like Banjo-Kazooie, Super Mario, Diddy Kong Racing, like you were able to escape to different worlds. And that in itself made me more inspired to like play different games that had like more open world elements. Like later down the line, I'd be playing a lot of the Kingdom Hearts games.
Yes.
And I mean, as you can tell from my machinimas, I'm heavily inspired by Kingdom Hearts, despite the convoluted story that they have.
Yes. It's like
there's a darkness inside your heart, Sora. Kingdom Hearts, Keyblade, and such.
And the one where like they're like the remix 0.5.6, and Cap wants to know, are you the Nintendo 64 kid?
I wish. No.
Yes. Like, Nintendo!
Nintendo 64!
Yes.
But yeah, I wish I was the Nintendo 64 kid, but yeah, since then, and then like we really got into like the handheld games, like Pokemon.
Yes.
Pokemon really kind of like defined me as like that kid, because growing up I never really had many friends. And this is funny because like I was talking about this with one of my friends about how in like growing up, like you weren't like it was really hard for me to make friends.
Same.
And I was always the outcast and everything. I was always the guy who, I don't know, just always the weird kid. But like I always found like common ground with Pokemon, and especially when playing Pokemon Red, Pokemon Blue, I always found myself, trading with my friend, who was my neighbor at the time. He had like the Pokemon Yellow cartridge, and we'd always like get the Game Link, bring our Game Boys together, and just like start trading and everything. It was so cool.
I still remember the coolest experience of that, being on a ferry heading between somewhere in Williamsburg, and there was another kid there with a Game Boy, and I'm like, I got a Game Link. So I bring it up, and my parents are like, wow, this game that isolates you, they're actually connecting you together. And that was so cool.
And what's funny is that later down the line, since we're actually segueing to this, about a couple of years later, my brother and my uncle introduced me to a game that I'm pretty sure has changed my life for the better, World of Warcraft.
Yes. So when did you get into to WoW?
So my first foray into getting into WoW was around like 2005, 2006.
Okay.
I remember seeing my brother and my uncle always online playing on their Tauren Druid, on their Troll Mage, respectively. And I was just like, hey, do you mind if I give this a go? And they're like, you're not going to like this, Eddie. You're not going to like this. And I'm like, oh, of course I do. I really wanted to check this out because honestly, at the time, I just wanted to watch like YouTube videos because like I didn't really care about World of Warcraft.
Yeah.
And then I got on. I just like ran around. I think I was like a night elf running around Teldrassil, and I was just like, this is cool, but it's just not what I want. And then jump forward a couple years later, this is like not a couple years later, just like a year later. This is when the Burning Crusade just came out. This was April, just right before the Black Temple was released.
Yeah.
And I remember asking my brother, hey, you know how I tried World of Warcraft at one time? Yeah, I kind of want to try that again because, I don't know, I kind of have an itch to play and make my own characters. Like, yeah, but just don't really get yourself roped into it. Well.
Famous last words.
Famous last words, brother. Famous last words. And then after that, it's like I make I think I made like an undead warrior, right? And I just named him Onion, right? I literally named him Onion.
I wonder if there's a lot of layers to why you picked that.
Well, onions have layers, right?
Yes.
I don't know. I was literally thinking of like a food stuff, and I was just like, you know what? Onions. I named my character Onions. And I ran around.
You could be like in PvP, Onion will make you cry.
Onion will make you cry. Swinging my sword around. Ha-ha! Taste the mighty blade of Onion! The Onion Knight comes! Ha-cha! Literally, I'm Sir Davos Seaworth from Game of Thrones, the Onion Knight.
Yes!
And then after that, I was like, just like running around being undead. I was just like, yeah, you know, this is not what I wanted. Like, I died, and I was like, oh, maybe I should probably delete my character and then make a Night Elf warrior. And I made a Night Elf warrior, which is now a human warrior, which I still have to this day.
Nice.
I call it my first official character, but really my first official character was Onion, the undead warrior. So I currently play the human warrior Jiren over on my I have a warrior, so it's my main, it's my baby. I think I put like at least countless amount of hours into that character.
Yeah, I'm glad WoW itself does not have a slash played because that would be frightening.
No, it does. Slash played.
Well, I mean, like for all the characters, or are you not as much into alts?
I mean, I do have a couple alts that I try to invest my time into. It's just like with BFA, it kind of like burned me out on the whole alt thing because BFA was never alt friendly.
No.
But Shadowlands, on the other hand, I've been leveling alts a couple times. Currently, after a month of playing Shadowlands, the only max level characters I have are a warrior and a warlock.
Nice. Good. And which covenants are you in on those?
For my warrior, I'm in the Kyrian Covenant.
Okay. Yes.
And for the warlock, whom I haven't played in a while because I don't know why, I guess it's like the playstyle of Affliction was like very clunky, so I joined the Venthyr Covenant.
Okay, nice. So, I can see that really working well because like my warrior went Night Phase because I like all the cutesy stuff, but it would have like Maldraxxus or Kyrian would have been more if I was going for class fantasy.
Right. I mean, I originally was going to go Maldraxxus for my warrior, and I was just like looking at it because like I kind of go by like his play style and like his like the fantasy aspect of it. And I looked at the Maldraxxus ability. I was like, War Banner. Hey, that looks cool. That looks very, very cool. But it doesn't. It's not usable as much in like PvE, PvP combat.
Yeah.
But the Spear of Bastion, though, I mean, it's good for AOE. Granted, it's also good for the. It's also good for PvP because you could just tether your enemies in, like, and just they can't escape.
Yeah.
And then that's why I chose that's why I chose Kyrian. And then I'm leveling a hunter right now who I am considering bringing to the Night Fae Covenant. And I have a Shadow Priest on the Horde side who's also going to the Necrolords.
Nice. And without spoiling anything, I heard Night Fae Hunter is a good combo. That's what I've heard.
That is what I hear. I haven't played much of the Night Fae Hunter. I only just got into level 57, so I'm like following all the guides just to get to level 60 as quick as possible.
Yeah.
And I tried Threads of Fate. Threads of Fate is pretty good. It's just not that quick, you know?
Yeah. And I remember that's one thing I was saying, Desmond Fisto was saying, was about how like it's almost quicker to do the campaign. And my biggest issue is I don't like having to do the campaign over and over again. I've only done it 3 times really, because I did it like a couple times in beta and then once in live, and it's a great storyline, but I was like, I don't want to do these same quests again.
Right.
So
no, I get you. I think it's just like with I think it's like with the play style, especially with not the play style, the campaign. It's just like it gets repetitive.
Yes,
which is why I love how there's just like different paths to take with your covenants, and like it's a lot more diverse with how you play the game.
Yeah, and I'm hearing a lot of discussion of like mechanics and stuff like that. So, what would you say your playstyle is?
Playstyle is mostly I do raid. I'm in a casual raiding guild. We raid like Wednesdays and Sundays. So actually, yesterday we had like a pretty good clear. We cleared 7 of the bosses yesterday. Got the Sludge Fist and called it a night there.
Nice.
I rarely PvP because I get very, very, very salty when it comes to PvP. I'll literally if I see one Horde player come charging at me, slice me down, or backstab me, stunlock me, what have you, hell hath no fury when a warrior scorned. Let me just say, I will be like, you motherfucker! Go!
Oh, that's awesome. That's awesome. And I still remember like targeting somebody in PvP. Like I wasn't targeting the player, but I was targeting the character, because I was like, this character keeps attacking me, and
Right.
like and at one point, I think I somehow they were just whenever they would see me coming toward them, they would just run away. So
That's why I just like I try to avoid PvP as much. But
Yeah.
unless there's something like, for example, if I wanted to do like if I wanted to collect more anima, if
Yeah.
I wanted to like collect a piece that I really, really like, because I'm also a collection. I love collecting. Pieces.
yes, and there's so much good stuff to collect. I
Especially with the warriors, like the what's it called, the elite gladiator set for warriors, because you have like that fluffy collar, and I'm just like, yes, yes, that
I
looks
need
so
to get
good.
those.
Oh my god! I mean, it's cool that the hunters have it for like their legendary transmog,
Yeah.
and I'm just like, but what about warriors? What about the plate wearers? I really want to look like a badass when charging into battle.
Yes. And like definitely like, because all plate gets boring. Add some variety. Don't just be like the same one,
Right.
like strips of plate. Because like I'm definitely into like cloth wearing. I mean, as a warrior, I wish I could wear cloth, because it would be just so much nicer to be like walk around and like I know it's not so good for defense, but I die a lot, so I don't need to worry about defending myself.
I mean, it makes sense. Because, like, we were echoing back about what we were talking about with chainmail.
Yeah.
Wearing it in real life, because it gets like hot and sweaty in there. And I'm guessing with Warriors, just like I just imagine after like they come in, they're at the end. They just had a long and hard battle.
Yeah.
And they literally just like went out, killed a couple of gnolls and everything, and they walk into the bar and they literally take off their helmet, and like as they take off their helmet, like a bucket of sweat just like pours like a waterfall down their face.
Yes. And
I'm just like, hello, ladies. Can I get a drink? Actually, make that 2 drinks. One for you, one for me. Why do you have sweat? Oh, no. I just went to Kid Holga. It's okay. No need to thank me. But sir, you're sweating. I know. 2 beers, please.
they're like, thank you. Ooh, thank you.
She's just like looking at me weird. She's like, I think he's going to get sweat in his beers.
Yeah.
Do I drink it? I just pack it back.
What is your sweat made of? The blood of my enemies.
The blood of Haga.
Yes.
I don't want no blood in my drink, thank you very much. Unless you're one of those, unless you're in the Venthyr, and of course that's their specialty. They'll literally be like one of those Starbucks baristas and be like, all right, 1 double latte, splash of Colbo blood, splash of Gnoll sweat coming right up. Literally, Starbucks. That's the secret of Venthyrs. The Venthyr secret is that they put Gnoll blood and Gnoll sweat, or Gnoll blood and Kobold sweat in their coffees.
Oh, we have uncovered it now, and now like you can find that tomorrow at your Starbucks. So go there and say, I want what they're having.
I want the Venthyr coffee. What the hell do you mean Venthyr coffee? Oh, don't worry, I heard it on the Frazley podcast.
Yes. Oh. You're making me laugh, and I love it. I love like when I laugh on this show. And what would you say is one of? Oh, go ahead.
I think laughter really, according to the top doctors of the U.S., I believe they said laughter is the very best medicine.
Yes, I remember Patch Adams with Robin Williams. Oh yes.
Yes. Definitely. Yes, definitely. But yeah, really, like, it's just like the comedy that I can really think of that like really inspires me. Like comedic movies, comedic TV shows, comedic properties, really, that really inspired me just to like start working on machinimas and really start like going at it with my content nowadays.
Which I'm glad you brought that up, because you have an extensive line of content, and you have a YouTube channel, and people should definitely check it out, because this year, can we get you? Let me look at what your current subtotal is. I saw it. I was like,
I'm at 9,500 subs right now.
Can we get a Lawrencium to 10,000 this year?
Can we do it?
Let's do it, everybody!
Can we do it? Can we do it? We heard it here first, folks. Can we get Lawrencium to 10,000 subscribers? Sound the clarion!
And is 10,000 where you get your first gold button or your silver?
That's actually 100,000.
Okay.
So I have about 90,000 more subs to go.
If only my listenership was 90,000, I could be like, hey, there you go. One day, maybe.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, I did set a goal for myself to hit at least 20,000 subs this year. And,
nice.
I mean, to think about it, like 10,000 subs, that's crazy. 20,000 subs, that's even crazier.
And do you have a name for your community?
I call it the Lawrencium Madhouse.
Oh, I love it.
Because in this madhouse, we're a bunch of mad fellows and ladies, and we're not a cult. We are not a cult. We're just here to have a good time.
Now, when I was over there, though, they wanted me to buy a robe and buy some candles and.
Hold on. Wait. Who did you talk to at the madhouse?
I think it was like a Susan or a Rachel.
A Susan or a Rachel? Okay. I'll have to like we'll have to like talk to HR about that. So we'll just have to make sure that we didn't sell the robes and candles. But of course, do buy the Lawrencium scented candles. They are they do smell of cinnamon, lavender, a little bit of splash of pumpkin, some Venthyr blood. I mean, what now? Yeah. Just I'm shilling my own products here. Right? I'm shilling my scented candles.
Yes, and now I can see on the Home Shopping Network. Buy the Lawrencium candles.
Lawrencium candles.
One of our newest
yes.
fragrances is No Blood and Cobalt Blood. And
No blood, cobalt sweat. Take this candle.
oh my god!
Today from the literally, I could literally shill myself just to make a bunch of scented candles, like a line of scented candles.
Okay, even before 10,000 this year, you need to do a scented candle line now. I mean, it has to.
I mean, hold me to it. I'll make a scented candle line.
Yes.
I'll literally find someone who can make candles and literally sell it on like Etsy or other one of those handcraft sites.
Yeah. Oh wow! I will buy one. And just as long as I don't accidentally burn the house down like I almost did with the candle.
Oh what? Hey, whoa! Our Lawrencium candles do not burn houses down.
Okay, good.
Only burn pony farms down.
Okay, good. And I sold off my pony farm this year, so it's all good there.
Oh no! I mean, not your pony farm. Cookies Pony Farms.
Okay, good.
And that's bringing me into the next topic about who I've collaborated with in the past with this YouTube channel. So obviously the main people that I've collaborated with, besides myself, there's Evo. Yes. Evo the Death Knight. There's Skull Shorties, whose character Banarak has made a couple of appearances there, here and there. Box the Pandaren Warrior, who's always, as we were talking about in the beginning, where he literally he does that scream where it sounds like an airplane that's descending.
Yes.
And of course Cookie, the who sort of acts as like Frank's conscience, even though Frank really just doesn't really give a crap when it comes to just going ahead and being just doing shit that no one else would expect. Like, for example, the running gag recently has been him going to Cookie's pony farms and somewhat unintentionally or intentionally burning down her pony farms. There is also, I've also collaborated with different YouTubers in the past. Manny Berry being one. Manny Berry is he's a WoW YouTuber / streamer. Very loud dude, but very funny. Who else?
I know Jay the Bard at one point.
Jay the Bard. I definitely collaborated with Jay. He recorded some lines as the Lich King in my Death Knight video.
Yes.
He was also a news reporter. He also played the orc, the orc in my Shadowlands video, where he was like, "This is a peaceful horde now. There's no need to incite violence here." Literally, I literally told him, so this orc right here, he may look very, very brutal and everything, but he's actually he's very peaceful. And he was just like, "Nah, man, this horde is peaceful now. Sylvanas is gone, and plus we have the Volpera to keep our friends in check." And I'm just like, this is perfect. I mean, the original idea that I had was to do that Korg impression from Thor Ragnarok. "Hey man, my name is Korg. I'm kind of made of rocks here, and this here is my best main Mink. Mink, you want to say something?" He's a little bug made of little words here. Of course, there's Doug there. "Hey Doug!" "Oh, Doug's dead, mate."
And have you done any work with Metzen? Because
Gorek. There was he's referring to a Metzen the reindeer, actually, not the Metzen, though that would be great to work with Chris Metzen.
Yes.
A while ago, one of one of my landmark series on the Lawrencium channel was a sort of like a documentary, or rather a rant, of Metzen the reindeer, who became one of my breakout characters on the channel, ranting about all these different WoW holidays.
Nice.
So originally the voice was done by a friend of the channel, Ludo, who I have not spoken to in a while. I'm pretty sure he's like, excuse me. He's very busy with like different life things right now. I think he got married, I guess. I'm not sure. But of course, Metzen sort of had like this Billy Connolly voice. So he literally sounded like this. Hello, I'm Metzen the fucking reindeer. I swear like a goddamn sailor. All right, now we'll talk about the Feast of Winterville. Fuck this holiday. Fuck you all. Metzen out.
I got a request. Can you reenact the father from So I Married an Axe Murderer?
The father from, where was it from?
So I married an axe murderer.
So I Married an Axe Murderer. I don't think I've ever seen that.
Oh, you got to, because everyone's like, "You're in my heart, you're in my soul, you're in my heart as we grow old. You're my best." And like he's like, "For nights," and yeah, there's a bunch of things.
It sounds a lot like Shrek there. What are you doing in my swamp, donkey? Donkey.
It's played by Mike Myers.
Oh,
yes,
it makes a lot of sense now.
You would love So I Married an Axe Murderer. You've got to see it now. Like,
oh my gosh! All right, and now I have to see it. I was literally out in the living room not too long ago talking about what was it? Uncut Gems, the one with Adam Sandler.
That was good.
I haven't seen that yet, but I'm actually going to make an attempt or an effort to watch that tomorrow morning. Like literally, just watch that through and through. So
nice. I really enjoyed that one. It was controversial, as in like some people loved it, some people hated it. I enjoyed it. I thought it was one of Adam Sandler's best serious roles. That and Spanglish.
Spanglish, yeah, definitely Spanglish. I think one of my favorite Adam Sandler's movies. There's a couple of them. There's Big Daddy.
Yes.
Big Daddy is like one of my favorite movies. Mr. Deeds.
Oh yes.
Mr. Deeds is definitely one of my favorites.
50 First Dates.
And 50 First Dates is pretty good. Click.
Okay, Click.
Click is one of those movies where I genuinely cried. And I don't mean that like because recently, not recently, but like Adam Sandler movies are known to have like a bad rep because like of how like, I mean, call it what you want. I mean, you know, comedy is comedy, but like sometimes the comedy can be dried up and it's literally like, you know, just beating a dead horse with a baseball bat.
Yes. Now that's what I need to see again because I've not seen that one in years.
Click.
Yeah.
I mean, I still need to see that movie. It's like, I think that movie came out when I was like 10, and that was one of those movies where I genuinely cried. Like, cause like the ending was just so emotional, but like what threw me off is like the whole thing was just like a sequence. Like it was all like those "it's all a dream" tropes.
Yeah, and of course, yeah, Christopher Walken in there, and
yes, Christopher Walken.
And I gotta say, but before we go on, make sure to see one of my best movies, Envy. I bet you have a better Walken impression than I do.
I don't know if I could do the Walken impression. I got a fever, and the only prescription is more cowbell.
Yeah, okay, you won.
I'm trying to do the cowbell impression. I'm just like popping my mouth, like that cat, right?
Yes.
That meme where it's like the cat's like. See, we're getting it. All right.
You are, I have to say, I have laughed so much today. You are funny. So, do I take it that like these inspired you to get into your content?
I mean, movies, anime, TV shows definitely have inspired me. I think like really the inspiration that got me into like machinima in the like initially was a series on YouTube made by Team 4-Star called Dragon Ball Z Abridged.
Ooh, I've seen snippets.
So recently, that show in itself, the show they finished their 60 episodes. They finished with the Cell Saga in 2018, and that was very emotional because I remember at the time I was dating a girl, and they just released these the second part of the series finale, and I was just like honey, she's like, hey baby, are you coming to bed? I was like, yeah, I'll be in bed soon, but do you mind if I watch this? She's like, come on to bed. I'm just like, I'm going to bed soon. And literally as we're sleeping, I pull out my phone. I'm just I put in my earbuds on. I'm just like, I'm just gonna watch this. So I watched it. It was cool. I I tried my best not to gasp, not to laugh or anything.
Yeah.
At everything. I was just like. But yeah, that was pretty cool. And really the inspiration from all these the comedy, the timing of these episodes really inspired me to make the comedy of my own. And of course, with Wa Machinima, I was heavily inspired by the original the OGs of Wa Machinima, so Oxhorn, Mindflame, Ian Beckman, Nim, those guys. So I was a fan, and I've always wanted to do WoW music videos. I wanted to do parodies and such, and I was just I cannot write for shit. I remember trying to write a Lady Gaga parody at some point. I'm just I can do this. No, I can't. I cannot write a parody on my own. How does Weird Al do this? How the hell does Weird Al? Hang on. I'll call up Weird Al. I have him on speed dial. Hello? How did I get this number? Oh, never mind that. How do you write a parody? He just hung up on me.
Yeah, he probably is practicing his accordion and all that, so he probably was like.
I can understand that. I can definitely understand that. Oh well. I mean, but yeah. And at the time, like I said, I was a senior in high school when I started doing Wa Machinima, and the idea came to me when my good friend Ryan, aka Speak to Ryan, we were talking about this over some fast food. I remember we pulled up to a in the Midwest, we have a fast food chain called Culver's. All right.
Yes. Oh yes. Every Tuesday night I get root beer from Culver's.
Culver's. Oh my gosh, I haven't had their root beer in a while, but I do
so
love
good.
their concrete mix.
Sparks
so
has a bite, and their concrete mix.
Their concrete. What flavor do you get?
Sometimes it's the chocolate. They also had a really good eggnog one. The one I had last night I think was another chocolate with brownies. Oh.
Ooh. I'm a plain Jane, and I usually go with Oreos.
Okay, I'm with that. Oreos, whatever flavor it is, you can't beat Oreos.
Oreos is probably my favorite cookie. But of course, my favorite. I mean, I was gonna say my favorite cookie is Cookie Keeler, and I'm like, wait, no, she's my friend. I can't pick favorites, but it's Oreos. It's definitely got to be Oreos.
Yeah, sorry, Cookie. Oreos wins.
Yeah, Oreos definitely win. But yeah, I think at this, I mean, we were eating Culver's. I was eating those cheese curds and everything.
Yes,
really good.
Oh.
I love those cheese curds. And I will die on this hill when I say that Culver's cheese curds are the best cheese curds.
Yes, they know their ice cream, they know their onion rings, they know their root beer, and they know their cheese curds.
And I've actually been to the first ever Culver's up in I think it's in Baraboo, Wisconsin.
Ooh,
because around there, this is when in high school we would always go to Devil's Lake up in Baraboo, and at the end of every trip we would always go to a fast food restaurant. It doesn't matter where. There was a McDonald's, there was a Culver's, there was a Piggly Wiggly's, which is a supermarket branch up there.
Yes,
and I would always go to the Culver's because I mean, I love Culver's. I mean, literally, there's a Culver's right down the street from me. If I wanted to go there, I'll go there.
Same. It's
Especially-
just on the street, and like I said, I go there every Tuesday.
I just get in my car, just like straight shot down. There
And
it is.
One quick question before we move back into: have you ever been to Porky's Pig Palace?
Porky's Pig Palace, up in Wisconsin, or
It's somewhere in that area because all I remember is we went on. It was like this carnival tent, like ceiling, and it was supposed to be like the best beef ever.
I can't say that I have, but I know in my area we have a Portillo's, and Portillo's is pretty much known for having its great beef, great hot dogs, and their chocolate cake shakes. So if you're ever in the Chicagoland area, Portillo's is the way to go, especially like in the suburbs area, in Chicago itself. Portillo's is like they have the best food there, the best crinkle cut fries. Oh my gosh. And even Kobold or Barbarian Kobold in your chat says that Portillo's is so good, so he can attest to it.
And I want to get there and get one of those like those deep dish pizzas from Chicago.
Deep dish, yeah. I was actually having a conversation with my friend a couple months ago rather. Time in a pandemic is just like it messes with you. I'm still in belief that I'm still in March of 2020.
Same.
And Def Not Cap says Wiener Circle in Chicago. Ooh, Wiener Circle. Now that's a story. So Wiener Circle is basically a hot dog joint where the guys, the servers, they yell at you, they insult you. I mean, it's an experience. That much I will say. It's not. I mean, it's an interesting experience.
So do you leave like, oh, thank you, and you're like crying like, I had a good dinner?
No. I have a strong will. I literally I remember going there with my girlfriend at the time, and we go and I think I get like a hot dog or something, right? I get one of those Chicago dogs, and it'll be it was like $11 or something, or $10, right? And they were like, that'll be $1,000, and I'm just like, $1,000? Okay, let me just check my my wallet real quick, and I pull out my wallet, and I'm just like, do you guys accept tears?
Yes.
I will. I mean, money is basically temporary, but tears are forever.
They are, and they are mixed so well with hogger blood and cobalt sweat.
Oh yeah, definitely. I think the next time I'll be in, I'll literally be holding one of those Venthyr cappuccinos in my hand, and I'll be like, all right, hey, I know last time I said I would pay in tears, but I have something better. It's a Venthyr cappuccino.
Oh, yes.
Made specifically for the good folks at the Wiener Circle.
And that just brings together like family and stuff like that. And
the Venthyr Covenant. When you're here, you're family.
And you're dead.
Remember this lesson.
Yes. So when you started, did you use Fraps?
Yes, I actually did.
Nice.
I know recently Fraps is kind of shit the bed with I can't really use Fraps as much anymore because it's a I don't know, I try recording and I get a black screen whenever I record.
Yeah.
So that's why I switched to OBS. I use OBS for all my recordings. For backgrounds, I just use Shadowplay. And I'm trying to find the answer on how to record my background shots with Shadowplay, or not my background shots, my model viewer shots.
I've definitely been in this spot. Do you use Blender, and do you like 3D models?
I haven't used Blender. I have tried to get into 3D editing, which I'm going to be trying to do this year, especially with my upcoming episode of Aligning Azeroth, which it's taken me about 2 years just to get out. I'm already finishing the storyboard for that episode, and it's I'm really excited. So, and I'll get into that in just a bit, but For editing programs, I use After Effects.
Okay, yes.
For the bulk of my editing. For my composition editing, for like sound, for anything else, like just to put everything together. For a year, I used Adobe Premiere. And I was like, okay, this was good. This is fine. But I kind of like Sony Vegas, so I went back to Vegas.
And I know that Better Podcasting, at least last I heard, they also use Sony Vegas. If you ever do decide to branch out into like podcasting, inside the actors circle with Lawrencium, Sony Vegas actually, from what I understand, does an amazing job for podcast editing too.
Interesting. All right.
Oh, and I'm glad you mentioned storyboarding because I remember I did one machinima. It's called The Great Calamity. You can find it on archive.org. I'm not going to link to it because it is shit, but I opened up.
We all start somewhere. That's
Yes.
all I got to say. We all have a start. I mean, my first machinima was the very first episode of Aligning Azeroth, episode 1, and it's still up there. It is still up there because it's basically a reminder that I start somewhere. It's one of those machinimas where it's like, it's cringe humor. It's
Okay, yes.
It's humor that obviously would not pass until like this day and age, and it's one of those machinimas where it's just like, yeah, I'm just getting my bearings in, but like it's, I don't know what else to say. It's just like, it's one of those machinimas where it's just like, where am I gonna go from here? All right. How am I gonna go from here? All right. My plan was literally crank out a machinima every other week while I was still in school. I'm like, this is my senior year of high school. I mean, the last quarter is supposed to be like a smooth sailing from here.
Yes.
And then basically, like, because of this, like, I put out like the first 2 episodes. So like the first episode came out like March 7th, 2013, which I remember too hard because that was my birthday. Because March 7th is my birthday, and I do share a birthday with my Aligning Azeroth series.
Oh, nice. And
my first machinima. So,
and you're only about 20 days before me because I'm the 27th of March.
27. Oh, nice.
We're March babies.
Yeah. All right. Yeah.
So 2013, how did you get into making content for World of Warcraft? Like what came to you to be like, I want to do Aligning Azeroth and I want to do it in WoW?
Well, I mean, going back to what I was talking about with my friend Ryan and us eating Culver's, we had a discussion, all right, because we talked about World of Warcraft content. In the past, we made a video. We made 2 videos, which were like real life sketches, sort of like one of those. It's like one of those 2010 videos where it's like it's really hard to explain because it's like they're like sketch comedies where it's like different. It's like Robot Chicken sketches.
Okay, so not quite like the would Mega 64 be a good illusion, or is that a little bit too?
Mega 64, it would be a pretty good illusion. I'm thinking more so like early YouTube, like The Station.
The Station, yes.
Right. I'm pulling out like these obscure references here, and like I'm hoping to God that you understand, and you did, which is great. Awesome.
Do you know The Receptionist?
That sounds familiar.
They were like all cardboard, like they did like spaghetti was a big theme of their stuff. It was like cardboard that they would move around. It was stop motion too, but like it was stop motion, and he would add himself into it. But.
All right. I mean, these videos were not really like stop motion. They were like real life. And if you guys wanted to find them, you can't because they're privated. They're on my buddy's channel, and they are privated, lost time. However, I did have a reaction video to the first one on my channel. I don't know how I still have that up there, but it's one of those videos. Like I said, the humor is very cringe. We reference Annoying Orange. We reference To Catch a Predator. We reference Sesame Street on there. It's cringe humor.
Yes, I can picture it, and it's like we have come a long way in our YouTube.
We really have, and then the second one, I remember this was This is when like one of those LOL comics came to be, and we were just like referencing them. And I remember towards the end of that video, we recorded, like we went into World of Warcraft, and we recorded, like we made like 2 troll characters and recorded them like dancing by each other and like recording over it, just being like, yeah, we're trolls, lol, get wrecked, noob, lol, oh, we're trolls, lol. And then it literally cuts to like us like laughing about it, and then like Ryan saying like, wait, what sort of significance does this have? Why are we doing this? Then we look at each other and then look at the camera and go, YOLO!
You are summing up so much of early YouTube.
There was also the reference where it was like where like I'm reading a book or something, and then Ryan runs into the room. He's like, Ed, the boys are in the yard. The boys are invading the yard. I'm like, wait, protect the milkshakes.
It's this comedy that is random just to be random, because like I have a series called the 7 O'Clock News that we have not done in a long time, but it was like this. It was random, and like,
right,
yeah, and I did YouTube videos in that same way, and you're just like,
right.
Sometimes you script it out. Sometimes it's you have an idea, and then you're just like, oh, this would be funny. Add this in, and it's like, you look back at it like, well, I thought that would be funny.
Right. It, like humor nowadays has definitely come a long way, and
yes,
especially now because like recently I've been like divulging myself into like watching a lot of. Are you familiar with Eric Andre?
Sounds familiar, but I
Eric Andre, he has a show on Adult Swim called The Eric Andre Show, and it is probably the most obscene show that I've ever seen on network television. And literally, it starts with like an announcer saying, like, it's basically supposed to be like one of those talk shows. Like, it looks like one of those talk shows, but like he puts the guests in like these uncomfortable situations.
Oh wow, okay.
So literally, you know what you signed up to when like the first beat hits, where it's like the announcer's like, "Ladies and gentlemen, it's the Eric Andre Show," and then you literally see Eric Andre running into frame, like screaming his head off, jumping into that back shot there, jumping in, crashing into things, punching things, screaming, jumping into the band, literally screaming his head off, like going ah. Literally just by punching people, going batshit insane, climbing up on bookshelves, and then sits down in his chair, tired, and then the set just like rebuilds itself, like everything just like drops in via a wire. And then in walks in Hannibal Buress, his co-host. And it like, as you think, you know, shit can't get weird. All right, shit does get weird in that show. Like, I think there was this episode where I think Eric, like, he literally, like, he breaks down his desk, it turns into a bathtub, he gets in there, right? And I think Hannibal, he's like, man, this show sucks. And then I think it's like Flav the Flav, I think, that was like the guest. And then Hannibal just like roundhouse kicks him in the face, and then like it cuts to that "we'll be right back" bit, because that's where that meme comes from. That boom, 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 boom. That "we'll be right back."
I need to see this show, because this sounds like a show I would find very entertaining.
Right, and then another show that I've been getting myself into. It's on Netflix. It's Auntie Donna's Big Old House of Fun.
Okay, I've seen that recommended. I need to add that as well. So
it's about 6 episodes. I mean, the first episode pretty much sold me with them singing about how everything's a drum. So like they just repeat themselves. He's like, everything's a drum, everything's a drum, everything's a drum. They had like Kristen Shaw on there, Weird Al was there, Paul F. Tompkins.
It sounds almost like Comedy Bang Bang.
It kind of does. It definitely sounds like Comedy Bang Bang. They also did like a parody of Ellen. They did a parody of Family Feud, game shows.
Oh, this sounds up my alley. Yeah, editing Frazley's, as she's editing this, is going to be adding this to her Netflix queue.
Yes. Although definitely the Ellen bit really sells me, because it's literally one of the guys, Broden, who like has like the wig on. He's like, Zach, do you know who this is? This is Ellen DeGeneres. Oh my God, it's Ellen! No, Zach, I need you to go outside. Okay, what have you done? Zach, I need you to go outside. Okay, what have you done? I need you to go outside, check outside. Okay, but oh my God, it's a brand new Toyota Corolla! That's right, it's a Toyota Corolla! Go inside. Oh my God, what's in there? Oh my God, it's $10,000 in cash! Yes! Sponsored by Doritos, eat them with cheese. And who else is in the car? Oh my God, it's my long-lost father! Yes, he's returned from a war!
So you're like bringing this out of I can tell when you bring this stuff up, you're bringing it out of your soul. Like,
Yeah.
Where do you come up with the ideas for your show? Because like you're so funny just talking to you.
Well, with the show, with Alani Azeroth, Alani Azeroth recently has taken a more serious turn. Originally, it was supposed to be like really, really funny and lighthearted, but now it's just like turned into like something dark, something sinister with my character Frank and like his epic journey throughout Azeroth. And that's something that we're going to discover in like the later episodes, is that like I'm planning on ending the series at episode 40. I've already written out all the episodes, and basically this is where like episode 30 is where like things start to get really dicey for Frank and his friends. But with the short machinima sketches, I've gotten a lot of inspiration from just like watching a lot of like different TV shows and like just like watching a lot of different YouTubers, getting these ideas from like whenever I'm like at work, I guess. Some of these ideas where I'm like talking with my friends. Some of these ideas come from like either probably like I'm trying like my best not to like rip on any, like trying to like copy what other YouTubers are doing. Trying to see what they do, how it's formulaic and such. Like how that formula really works is what I'm trying to say. And
it's working, especially because there's a new announcement that people might not have heard about, but when I saw this, I was so excited for this. So
yes.
When I say this next phrase, people are going to be like, they know exactly what I'm talking about. Oh, you're a filthy casual. So
oh my goodness, I didn't realize that this was. Oh yes, of course, the level 58 Death Knight, which is from Nixxiom. And of course, when we're talking about Nixxiom, I'm of course talking about the world of Nixxiom.
Yes.
So
for those who don't know, can you describe what a Nixxiom?
World of Nixxiom is basically the collaboration between Nixxiom, Mookluk, Crom, and Big Maddie.
Wow.
So it's basically their brainchild together, creating a channel to bring a lot more lively content to the YouTube, especially not just World of Warcraft, but in like gaming. You can see like they've been adding a lot more animations with their drawings, with their crude drawings, like the chicken. Of course, everybody knows about the chicken in that music video, which is funny because I've been editing for Nixxiom for almost 5 years, I should say.
Wow.
5 years coming up in June. And Nixxiom, like I've been like the on and off again editor for Nixxiom, and he brought me this idea in November saying, hey, we're doing this World of Nixxiom. We're trying to we're building up. We're like bringing people on board. Do you want to be an editor for the channel? I was like, fuck yeah.
Nice.
Because I love working with Nixxiom. He's like one of my dude is one of my best friends in real life as well. It's funny is because he came to visit me, or not to visit me. He actually visited Krendor, which we're all familiar with, and Krendor actually lives in the same town as me. So that's pretty
nice.
funny.
Okay.
So Nixxiom, he because we're friends on Facebook, he contacted me. He said, "Hey, Lawrencium, do you still want to grab lunch or something?" I was like, "Yeah, sure." I know of a restaurant, so we grabbed restaurant at this food. We grabbed food at this restaurant. I told him about this burger. It was like a bacon burger, I guess.
Ooh.
He took one big bite of it, and he's like, I like it, in the normal Nixxiom fashion. So it's Nixxiom in real life is really chill. He's really cool. He's an awesome boss. So So it's great to be working with him again and getting to work with Big Maddie, Crom, and Mookluk. Not only that, but like we're also working with different people. Like he's a pretty huge voice actor in the World of Warcraft community. He's been quite around since like Tales of the Past and like all those old machinimas. Matt Greenberg. Are you familiar with Matt Greenberg?
It sounds familiar, but I've only been in the community since 2016, and I invested in it. So I'm still learning names even from
Fair
that
enough.
part.
Yeah, so Matt Greenberg, he's doing some voice work for Nixxiom as like a narrator for a for like a little anthology that we're doing on the World of Nixxiom site called I think it's like, what was it, the Tales of the Necromancer, I think it was called. I remember the name. It's them like going through like a dungeon. So it's like Nixxiom, Mookluk, Crom, and Big Maddie going through a dungeon, and the story is up on worldofnixxiom.com if you want to take a read at it. It's really good. But on the YouTube side of things, I've edited a couple of videos for Nixxiom so far, in terms of not for World of Nixxiom exactly, but like for other different videos. Starting with his People of the Alliance machinima, which was back in 2016. I've done the Arathi Basin in a nutshell, Warsong Gulch in a nutshell.
Yes.
Now remember, this was like one of my like the first times up using Adobe After Effects, and I've definitely come a long way using After Effects since then, and you know, and all that, and of course. The more recent machinimas from last year, like Fishing in a nutshell, or rather, I Hate Fishing. Shadowlands was boring. Other ones like what was it, Life as a Warlock, and more recently, I edited the video about the music video about Nixxiom and his big white chicken.
Yes. Okay. Yes.
The Fairly Odd Parents parody.
Yes.
Which now, because I've edited it and watching it like millions and millions of times, that song lives rent free in my head.
Oh, I mean, hearing all this stuff, you know how we talked about Dre being a producer? I see Lawrencium now being a producer, and I see you being like, well, and we already have your product because Dre has his beats, and you've got your candle.
Yes, Candles by Lawrencium. And I'm still showing that, folks.
Yes. And one thing that I can tell, like, you have a confidence when you're talking, and just you know how to project, and you know how to get into voices. So you do voiceover work. That sort of like started with doing the machinimas. So I do like 3 characters, or rather, the first 3 characters that I did, or rather 4 characters, I should say, were the Frank voice, the Myliad voice, the Gox voice, and the Dwarf voice. And the Frank voice was sort of like this style that started with it sort of started like as very lazy. It was like I was like trying to figure out how I was going to do this voice, and Ryan was like, "Well, you want to do something that's like, you know, that makes him sound annoying." And I'm like, "Well, I mean, wouldn't that like detract people away from the channel?" It's like, no. I mean, people are going to love it. I'm like, I mean, I'll give it a try, and then from there, that Frank voice started to evolve. So this is what the Frank voice was originally supposed to be, and then it made it into this. Yes.
So this is the Frank voice that I have here. Hey guys, it's me, Frank the Tank. Yeah, here we go.
And then another voice that I did, it was sort of like this Bubba voice, like this deep Louisiana Big Daddy voice. It was the Gox voice, which little bit sounded like this, if you know what I mean. He has that Nolans drawl.
I'm getting a Foghorn Leghorn.
I say, ma'am, you dare challenge me? I demand satisfaction, ma'am. I challenge you to a duel. Tomorrow, pistols at dawn.
Oh, yes. Wow.
But yeah,
Mel Blanc.
The Gox voice really it just turned into this. Well, not like this, but like it just turned into this. It just like it was lazy, laid back, and then it sounded like Seth Rogen. And then Myliad, which is one of those voices where I have to like do like a lot of modulation to the voice, especially in Sony Vegas. The original voice, it kind of sounds like this. Like, you really have to enunciate the U's and the S's. Like all those voices.
Oh, yes! On Jetsons. I remember, like, it was a Jetsons, Flintstones, and like
one of those Hanna-Barbera cartoons.
Yes! That voice! Oh, you're taking me back to as a kid. A 1, a 2.
A 1, a 2, a 3. Like one of those Tootsie Pops.
Yes!
Mr. Owl, how many licks does it take to get to the center of a Tootsie Pop? Let's find out. A 1, a 2, a 3. And that's why like sometimes like I love going as a Kyrian so I can hear that owl. Like I literally click on him like so I can get that how do you do?
Yes!
Toodaloo. I just have to like keep doing that voice so I can perfect it, because at some point I do want to bring a Kyrian owl steward onto the machinima.
Oh, and
just so I can do that voice.
And your owl could, and don't worry, I won't ever charge you copyright later on. Could like be eating Tootsie Pops and all that. Or like
my owl is eating Tootsie Pops. I literally like I had like before the show even started, like I literally had like a bag of Tootsie Pops on my desk.
Oh.
And, like, I like before I went to go take a nap, I was like, wait, where did my Tootsie Pops go? Like, and I looked out the window and I see a winged creature flying by, being like, toodaloo, and I'm just like, that goddamned owl. But yeah, that owl has caused me nothing but trouble in the past.
Yes. Oh yeah. And you can't trust owls. I mean, no. Who would have thought?
Hey, they're inquisitive. They're they're wise in their nature, but they stole my Tootsie Pops.
Yes.
And I will not rest until I get all those gosh darn Tootsie Pops back. And every single one had better not be licked or, God forbid, bitten off.
Otherwise, they will have bitten off more than they can chew.
Hey, to all the owls watching, you know what you did.
I absolutely love you, just because this whole time I'm seeing your story and how like you got into gaming and you got into this love, but then you've been taking it and you've been building this career. Because like one thing is you're making money doing what you love, and I love this.
This is what I love doing, and honestly, like I definitely want to see this evolve even more in 2021, especially now with quarantine and being cooped up in the house. And even then, I could just like practice on my voice work and just like really like perfect it.
Yeah.
Especially like with playing World of Warcraft. So like if I'm like playing like one of my dwarf characters, I'll be like, all right, mates, let's see what we can do here. All right, we got a pint of beer. I dare you. Chug-a-lug, 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 chug-a-lug.
And I just found out from Cap, this is the 1 anniversary since they had Trendane on. And have you heard Trendane's work?
Trendane's, I have not actually. I feel bad.
Oh, the WoW community is large because like you're mentioning people that I've not heard, and I want to get to know now. But like,
right.
it's amazing how much creativity there is in this world. And like Trendane does an amazing Worgen, and like I think like his Worgen has a love interest with another Worgen, and like when I had him on, he was like, oh, those Worgen and their tails, and like he just like, oh, it was great. But
is their bark worse than their bite? Oh!
At least the
that,
house.
that awoo was so scuffed. But I've definitely got the growl.
You do. Again, better be careful, or there is a new king in town.
Oh, I've also done like parodies of Gen, so like I'll even do the Gen Greymane voice. There was a video that I did a long time ago for my good buddy Miracle, and this was when he was doing that versus video. He did a video. It was Crowley versus Greymane. It was like one of those epic Civil War like battle scenes, right? Where they're actually having like a full-on battle with each other, and they turn into like these worgans. So it was actually one of my more serious roles as Gen Greymane. So I remember one of my lines. It was like, "No, Tess, you didn't. You need to find some place to hide. Be safe. For my daughter. For my son. For Gilneas."
Wow.
Something like that. It's one of those real, like one of those voice work, those voice characters that I am very proud to really get myself into and like try to, well, not mimic, just like try to, what's the word I'm looking for? It's like trying to like
homage.
I'm trying. Pardon me.
Homage.
Trying to make an homage to the that character.
Yeah, it reminds me of when Taryn did his phenomenal voice actors panel thing, and afterwards,
yes, I was there too.
Afterwards I was like, Taryn, how did you do that? And Taryn's like, I had edited Metzen so many times that I knew how to do it. And like he said, like, of course they modulated it a bit to make it sound like, I hope I'm not giving away anything, Taryn. If I am, I'm sorry. But I asked Taryn afterwards. But yeah, it's that.
Taryn, it's funny. Sorry.
No, go ahead.
Cut you there. But what's funny is that like I've also tried to like, because I've also voiced Thrall on a couple of projects.
Yes.
And one in particular is Thrall with a singing voice. And one of those Thralls with the singing voice was actually done on Skull's video, which is a parody of You're Welcome.
Yes, I was thinking that I had just seen you in one of those because I had seen that come across. That I love that one.
I always, what's funny is that like that is my favorite. Honestly, that is honest to God. That's probably one of my favorite videos that I've ever been in.
It's so good. I
because this was a real challenge to me because I got to really because like I love singing. I was a theater kid. I did musicals. My parents encouraged me to pursue a career in theater, which I never did, but I'm doing voice acting, so
yeah.
it kind of plays out. And since then, like I remember Skull was asking, like he was talking to someone about like doing the voice work of Thrall, but like they never came through, and I was like, hey, Skull, why don't I do the voice, right? If that's okay with you. It's like, yeah, if you want to like send your voice in. And I was like, yeah, sure. So like I did like a recording, like a scuffed recording, and I was like, so what can I say except you're DMCA'd?
Yes.
Because we can't really do that. Because
yeah, sadly. If you want to see it, it's on YouTube. If you want to see the whole
YouTube, it's on Skull's channel actually. So that was a very fun time, especially like to help out Skull because I know he was going through a lot in his time with real life stuff.
Yeah,
and doing this really cheered him up, and I was really glad just to like be there and really be like that somewhat support for him. Yeah.
And one thing I want to ask because of like all this and the fact that like there's a large community right now in the WoW creative community, but there's always room for more people. What advice would you give to those wanting to get into a creative profession or get into creativity or fandom like WoW? So
for those who really wanted to really want to get into a creative profession like voice acting, voiceover work, or just making videos for YouTube, like myself, it's never too late to start. Like how old you are, you could be 10, you could be in your 40s, you could be whatever age, you could be 80. And even then, you could still make something out of it. You can still do whatever you can to do the best you can at whatever age, like whatever time frame you have. I mean, for me, like I was lucky enough to start when I was 18, when I was still young. But even then, even as the channel is like still growing, it's still growing inch by inch, day by day. Even then, like still, it's never too late to give it the old college try. And for those who really want to like get into like voice work, you know, definitely make demos, definitely practice every day, talk to yourself in the shower, sing in the shower. Don't really care like if your parents can hear you singing in the shower. It doesn't matter like how good or bad you are. Keep practicing, keep at it, because one day when I see your name on the marquee, I'll be like, there you are, and I'm proud to see that there.
And I like that you mentioned the age, because I don't know Hottie's age, but I think Hottie Chicken is an example of somebody who she started when she was very wizened and experienced, and look at her, like she is soaring above. Like
Hottie Chicken has definitely blown up in the past few months, and like I've not even heard of her until just recently, but like she has definitely become one of those WoW content creators, or just content creators in general, that despite age, despite that, like she is still making strides. She's still in tune with the community, and that's something that I love. Is like if you're in tune with the community, then like age doesn't matter. Like I said, you could be 10, you could be in your 80s. Like it doesn't matter how old you are. Like even then, you're in tune with your community,
and you have to have passion.
Passion, definitely, and that drive to passion for me, especially because I've hit some road bumps in the past with real life, like in the background, my parents had gone through a divorce. I'd lost my mom in 2010. I've gone through a lot. Like my grades were slipping at some point. At like just real life had me distracted, and even then, what brings me home, like whenever like I feel like I'm having like a very rough day, if I'm like feeling down, if I'm like really bringing myself, you know, just where I'm just like really sad and like just, you know, just feel like I've lost hope, it's the community. And recently, because like I was talking with I was just like giving like an introspective on like the year past, and I said that like this year 2020 has been quite a year where like I felt more like I kind of like digressed, really. Like I feel like I've like really gone back and like felt myself really sink even lower with how things were going. I mean, like you can definitely excuse it with the pandemic, but like I feel like I've had more like panic attacks and everything, and I guess being transparent with like your mental health definitely helps with how it is. And there was an instance where I had a panic attack, and my friends were there on Discord with me having this panic attack, and I don't know how they went about this, but I remember a couple days later, I had just woken up and my buddy Evo sent me a message. It was a video, and it was a video of my friends, my friends in the WoW community. So my friends, Dark Orc, Adam Schwagen, Speak to Ryan J, Skull, Box, Cookie, Evo, each of them sending like a message saying, "Hey, we're here for you. You're very strong. You've accomplished so much and everything," and just like, you know, just being there for me when I was at my lowest.
Wow.
So,
and like other than a few, I mean, these are like your online friends, and like
most of them are my online friends, but like the one thing that really surprised me was like there was that message from Ryan, who Ryan has been my best friend since like 2010, since high school.
In that Culver's, right? In that eating those t-shirts?
The same one. The same Speak to Ryan. And now, like, I mean, I mean, now, I mean, he rarely streams, but like now he's like, I mean, he's really busy with real life because like he's moving to DC this year. He's like he and his girlfriend, they're moving out to DC. It's gonna be fun. So you know, I'm telling him, hey Ryan, I'm driving up to DC. So like, I mean, I've made the drive to well, my family and I have made the drive to Virginia a couple of years, like many years ago for spring break. And we made a drive up to DC, so I'd be more than thrilled just to go up to DC. Of course, after I get the vaccine.
Yes.
So,
yeah.
And I am set to get the vaccine very soon because I am a frontline worker.
Oh wow! The
bakery that I work is at a supermarket, and it's one of those frontline work things. So So frontline workers in Illinois will be getting the vaccine very soon, and I'll be one of the first in the store to get that vaccine, the first dose, and then after I think 3 or 4 weeks, I get my second dose, and after that, COVID will not affect me, and I will have been vaccinated.
And I need to thank you for not being an anti-vaxxer. Thank you.
Yeah, I've had friends. I mean, I've had a friend that that does not believe, or that was an anti-vaxxer, and I denounced them. I completely denounced them. They went off the rails with that shit, and I was just like, there's no room for that there. All right?
No.
All right. If you don't back science, you can piss off.
Because I mean, even in the black community, we've lost 2 names at least that I can think of, and I've seen other people who have had like relatives, but we lost Hastor and we lost Jared.
Right.
And like to me that's close enough to hit home that like I sadly did not know either well, but it still feels like shit because it's like
and I'm with you on that same boat. It's like I never personally know, I never knew Jared, but like knowing that this was the guy that cosplayed as He Who Has No Life, and like seeing how much notoriety in the community that he had, it literally hits really close to home.
Yeah.
And even to this day, there are still people who are still not wearing their masks. They're being anti-maskers about everything. And you know what's funny? It's like I have a mask in my car, and literally it's the one mask that I wear out in public but never at work, because on that mask it says, "Don't be stupid, stupid." It's a Philip DeFranco mask.
I've seen that one. Yes, not on you because I've not been near you, but I've seen people doing their selfies of that one.
Right. I mean, I even had a selfie on my Twitter at some point.
Okay, then that actually might have been the one because
that was it. Yeah, that was the one.
And yeah,
I literally just I got home from work one day, and this is when I was still working at my sales job, and I got home and I saw like this mask sitting out, or this package sitting on my table. I was like, "What's this?" And I opened it up, and I was like, "Oh, I forgot that I ordered this." So I put it on. Literally, what's funny is that like the moment I put it on, all right, my dad notices that it's upside down. So don't be stupid, stupid. I put the mask upside down.
Oh!
So,
and I have to say, like,
little bit of vain sarcasm there.
Yes. And I'll say we may mask our faces, but I don't think you and I mask our feelings. And
definitely. I mean, it's one thing to mask faces on, in the community, but it's another thing to be really transparent about how you feel and about your mental health.
Yeah.
In the WoW community, and it's really important to let people know that, hey, if you're having a good day, then tomorrow's going to be a new day, and if if today's a bad day, tomorrow's a new day. So yeah,
and this community, like I'll say it again, this community this past year, as I've been coming out as trans, the community, I've had only a few people that I've had to block. I mean, unfortunately, but people have been really supportive, and like I even saw like Christy Golden. She doesn't follow me, but it was one of the I did a post about being trans, and she liked it. I was like, oh, Christy, who's making these stories that we love.
Christy Golden is a bundle of joy.
Yes.
And I absolutely love her.
And wow. I'm looking at the time, and like I know editing Frazley is tapping me on the shoulder like, hello, can you please wrap this up? Because Lawrencium, I have to say, I have had such a great time talking tonight.
This has been a lot of fun.
And I definitely want to bring you back, and especially because I like when I bring you back, like at some point you know like the World of Nixxiom Con or something. I mean, I there'll be something like I want to see where you balloon even more, because like
Definitely.
seeing like your story tonight, where you started from here with those cheese curds and now has just ballooned.
Right. And hey, this is honestly probably one of the greatest experiences that I got to have, because for a while, because like the moment I met you, the moment I got to know you, I was like, you know what? One day I'm going to be on the FrazlCast. And even at that moment where I was like hanging out with you at BlizzCon for that brief moment, I was like, I'm still holding you to that. We're gonna hang out on the FrazlCast, and that night has come. And honestly, Frazley, I'm deeply honored.
I'm honored because I started following you because I love what you do. And wow, I always tell people when you're on this couch with me, and I think now I don't know if we're spooning or I don't know because like this couch is so small, but we've become. I feel like I've become I got to know you better.
I've definitely got to know you a lot better.
Yeah.
Because of this, and likewise, like you've gotten to know me better, and this has been honestly like a great experience getting to know each other, friend.
Oh, thank you, friend. And I'm definitely going to bring you back. I mean, unfortunately with the biweekly, I don't know when, but you are definitely on my. I want you back.
Definitely.
Because I've had those guests. You're like, I'm busy.
Yeah, just like that's the thing about me. It's like I make time for everybody. Like it doesn't matter who they are. And it doesn't matter like what time of day it is. I will always try to make time, and I mean it's a blessing and a curse.
Yeah.
Only because like I make too much time for everybody, and like I have like other obligations to go through. So
yes.
So sometimes like I gotta like I really gotta like go through and just like make sure that like if I'm making time for one person, all right, then I have to make sure that I'm making time for another person. And but yeah, this was definitely a trip and a half, and I'm really, really, really glad that I got to experience this. And yeah.
Wow. And this is bringing back BlizzCon memories. So,
oh my gosh.
As we go, can you tell people where to find you? And everybody, I'm gonna campaign for this. Can we get Lawrencium to 10,000 YouTube subscribers by the end of 2021?
2021! That's right! 10,000 subscribers by the end of 2021.
But wait, there's more. I just realized.
Wait.
You said 20,000. Can we get to 20,000 by the end of 2021?
20,000 by the end of 2021.
Tell your friends. And as you do it, make sure to buy a Lawrencium candle.
Lawrencium scented candles made with the freshest of cinnamon and vent their blood.